Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Bose from the 19th hole, and we're here to talk a little bit about the golden shot. And this is the golden shot from the previous Festive Cup tournament. It just released yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through my shots, like about 7 or 8 of them, and try to give you all some tips on what to expect when you do get ready to take your shot, or maybe even purchase some shots. Time is not an issue. Plenty of time left to get this done. You got 5 days, 16 hours, and 10 minutes left still to get this done. So definitely make sure you take the time, do a little bit of video watching on YouTube, and I think the more you watch, the better understanding you'll have of this shot, and then you'll be more well prepared to go in and take your shot and get the most out of your money, the most bang for your buck. So let's go in, look at what we got. We will be doing the hard shot. That's where you get the berserker balls. I think this is the shot that you should be taking. If you do purchase shots, you clear this and have some shots left over, then I would suggest moving to the medium. I think everybody should be going for the hard shot though, because that gives you the best prizes. It lets you start building up that berserker stash. It's a ball that you definitely want to have a little bit later in the game. If you hit the ace, this is the prize for the ace. The obsidian chest, you get 48 total cards, 15 rare, 8 epic, and that sleeve of berserkers, which is the most important thing. So let's go ahead, go into the golden shot, take a look at the club selection, talk a little bit about the club that we're going to use here today. So we are going to be using the golden long iron for this shot. And you're either going to be playing this shot with 2 adjustments. This is downhill, so you're either going to play it with a 10%, a downhill adjustment, or a 50% downhill adjustment. Let me give you the adjustments first for these, and then we'll talk about in what situations you're going to use 10%, in what situations you'll use 50% for your adjustment. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to give you the wind adjustments for up to 5 rings, which will be all you need for this. So 1.7 miles per hour of wind per ring is going to be your adjustment. So 1.5 rings would be 2.5. 2.6-ish, okay? 2 rings would be 3.4 miles per hour. 3 rings would be 5.2 or 5.1. 4 rings would be 6.8, and 7 rings would be 8.5. So if you're playing the 10% adjustment, I think the highest the winds get up is to 7 miles per hour. So 4.5 rings, or close to 4.5 rings, would be the highest adjustment that you'll make ring-wise with your shot at 10%. So if I had to guess, it's somewhere be in between 2 and 4.5 rings. That's going to be your probably your measurement. So somewhere in that cutoff, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about that. If for some reason you get a tailwind or right to left tailwind, then that's when you're going to be using the 50%. So tailwind, right to left tailwind. This is the only time that you're going to have to worry about the 50% adjustment, okay? And for the 50% adjustment, it's 1.2 miles per hour. So it's actually a very easy number to be able to multiply in your head. You got 1.2 for 1 ring, 2.4 for 2 rings, 3.6 for 3 rings, 4.8 for 4, and 6.0 for 5 rings. So possibility you may have to go up to 5.5 rings on this adjustment. So every half ring, you just add 0.6. So like a 5.0 a 5.5 ring adjustment would be 6.6. So that would be the highest that you would make. So if I had to guess, you're going to be somewhere between 3 rings of adjustment and 5.5 rings of adjustment. That would be my guess. You'll be somewhere in that area. So that's for the 50%. Only tailwind and right to left tailwind. That's the only time you have to worry about the 50%. The 10% is everything else. Headwinds, left, right, right, left, side winds, left to right tailwinds, and kind of side tailwinds. Those will all be the 10%. So you got headwind, side wind, that kind of wind, that kind of wind, that kind of wind. All those will be 10%. As we said, the only 50% winds will be straight tailwind and right to left tailwind, like you see over on your right side. Okay, so moving right along, as you see, what I said, 5 to 7 is going to be your wind strength for this. So you don't have to really worry about the adjustments in between 5 to 7 miles per hour, which makes that a pretty small window of which you'll have to adjust. So go into those charts, and if it's anything under 5, cross it out. So only concentrate on the adjustments ring-wise that you have to make between 5 and 7 miles per hour. All right, so we'll see you all in just a moment for the first shot, and we'll talk a little bit about the spin that we're going to use during each shot. So see you all in just a moment. All right, y'all, we got our first shot here. Right to left tailwind kind of shot. Full backspin, 1 right spin. I like to aim my shot where the yellow ring is about halfway to a quarter of the way over, adjusted into the fringe cut. So you can see me adjusting it there. We're about, looks about halfway on this shot. And we'll adjust this one 4.2 rings for our 6.8 miles per hour. There's our adjustment here. Hit the perfect here is all we need to do. Hit the perfect shot. Like the bounce, the roll, and get in the hole. J boom. This was, in fact, the first shot I took for the golden shot. So quite a way to start off the golden shot by getting the obsidian chest. Get some nice cards here. Hopefully. Some sand lizards. Some rocks. We'll take that. Booyah. Level 6 Big Topper. And a sleeve of Berserker Balls. Nice. Alright, so we have our second shot coming up here. We have a straight tailwind. So this is where we'll play a 50% adjustment for the wind. And we'll play full backspin. Once again, we line up our yellow ring right there with the edge of that fringe, about 1/4 to halfway into the fringe, just to the point where we can get that ball guide straight at the hole. That's what we want. So 50% adjustment, 4.2 rings for 5 miles per hour, 1.2 miles per hour per ring. Hit it great left, so this one is going to be a little bit off. Still not a bad shot, and we're going to go just past the hole and get the light blue ring. So we're still okay. We're still okay. Not too bad. A little bit, need to hit a perfect on this one, but as you can see, great shots will work still as well. So that's good to know. Some Cataclysm cards, nice. 2 Berserkers. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, shot number 3, straight headwind, right in our face. 10% adjustment on the wind. We'll play this one at 4 rings of an adjustment for max. Find that spot, full backspin. We're going to play 1 bar of right spin this time. And if we find that spot where the ball guide is going straight to the hole on that ridge. So we're about halfway up into that rough cut and that fringe cut this time. 4 rings of adjustment for this shot. Hit it perfect. Let's see where we end up. Nice bounce off the fringe. Rolling, 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 and just snuck into the red ring. We'll take that. We'll take that. Crimson chest. We'll see what we get. Hopefully we get something that we need. Oh, sword, hammer cards. Booyah. Nirvana cards. Booyah. And 3 berserkers. So we are definitely resupplying our berserker stash. Exactly what we wanted to do. All right, so 3 down, 2 to go. Let's see if we can do it. Left to right tailwind. So we're going to do 50% here. This is more of a tailwind to me. More of a straight tailwind. If it was a little bit more angled left to right and not as much tail, I probably would have gone with just a 10%. But we went with the 50% since it was more of a straight left to right tailwind. So 5.5 rings of adjustment here for 6.5 miles per hour and full backspin on this shot. As you see, I did not totally line that one up perfectly. Did you see that the crosshair was not in the center? So this was not completely lined up perfectly, but we still almost get the yellow ring. It was still a really good try. Probably would have been a red ring if we hadn't gotten that yet. So mislined up that shot. Still got it really close. Still got it really close. All right, headwind this time. 10% on the adjustment. So we're playing this one at 1.7 per ring. So 3.2 rings for the adjustment for 5.2. Line that yellow ring up right there along that fringe so the ball guide is pointing straight at the hole. 3.2 rings of adjustment. We got that one lined up pretty good. Looks pretty centered. Perfect hit. Let's see what we do. Bounce, 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 and get in the hole. Ooh, that's okay. I think we cleared our rings with that shot right there. And that was my main account. So we cleared our rings on the main account. And now I'm going to show you some shots on my other accounts as well. So we cashed in. Booyah, there we go. Cleared it all the way on the main. And on the other accounts, I just really used my free shots. I did not purchase any other shots. So this is whose account. Left to right headwind. Full backspin. Line the ball guide up towards the hole with the yellow ring right there on the edge of the green and the fringe. Keep in mind it's going to be somewhere between 1/4 to halfway onto that fringe. Looks about halfway this time. So we will take 3.4 rings for this one. 1.7 per ring with a 10% adjustment. And let's see if we can hit it perfect. We do hit it perfect. This one's coming in. Nice bounce off the fringe and the roll and the red ring. Not a bad shot. Not a bad shot. Pretty good online for that shot. Crimson chest. Let's see what we get for the Who's account. So it's very important to use that backspin. If you have right to left wind, tailwind, you want to use 1 bar of right spin to kind of counteract that wind. Otherwise, it's pretty much straight backspin. No wind to go 10% adjustment, no wind to go 50% adjustment. If you don't want to worry about factoring the adjustments, just remember 10% is 1.7 per ring, and 50% is 1.2 miles per hour per ring. So 4.3 is the ring adjustment for this shot right here. Full backspin. We got 4.3. Get that one nice and centered, lined up there on the crosshair. You can use the take shot button as well. It works just as good as the crosshair. Perfect hit. Nice bounce. And the roll. Ooh, almost got the yellow ring. Very close. We'll take the red ring. Very happy with that. So far you've seen me clear. Ooh, look at that. Some APOC cards. You've seen me clear my main, and I've received the red ring on my other 2 accounts. So I think we have one more account to show you. We have 2 more accounts to show you, actually. Okay. So full back, we're going to go 1 right spin, since we have a right to left wind. It's a right to left headwind, so we're going to go, we're actually going to go 1 less spin as well in this shot. Same adjustment, yellow ring at the fringe, green cut to where the ball guide points to the hole. 4.2 rings of adjustment, and we just got to hit it perfect. We do. We do. It's a nice little bounce there, and ooh, a little bit off there. A little bit off there on that shot. It's definitely a slope. Got some slope to it right there along the edge. So it is definitely a tough shot to master because any little fraction off on your adjustment, it will hit that slope differently and cause that ball to bounce. So this is the last shot right here. This is the 19th family account. Full backspin, 1 right spin. As you see, we have a right to left wind, so we're going to use our 1 right spin to counteract that wind. A 10% adjustment for this shot right here. Get that one lined up there with the ball guide going straight towards the hole. It looks like we're about halfway, with about a quarter of the way with our yellow ring on the fringe. 3.5 ring adjustment for this shot at 5.6 miles per hour. Come on, let's hit this one perfect. Hit it perfect. Looks like a nice bounce. The roll and the boom. J-Boom got the ace. So we started it with the ace, and that's how we're going to end it, with the J-Boom ace. So not too bad of a golden shot through the accounts. We cleared the main, the only account we purchased shots on. We used the free shots on the rest of the accounts. Got an ace. We got 1 light blue ring and 2 red rings. So definitely a great showing here for the golden shot. Hopefully you all learned a thing or 2, or if you've already taken your shots, hopefully you just enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it that thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and look forward to doing some more of these in the future. Thank you all for giving me your time and supporting the channel and the 19th hole on Facebook. Y'all have a good day, and Merry Christmas this week. Have a Merry Christmas.